again. Laughs have been had and tears have been shed. Maybe the whiskey's gone to my head. But if I were gay, I would give you my heart. And if I were gay, you'd be my work of art. And if I were gay, we would swim in romance. But I'm not gay, so get your hand out of my pants. It's not that I don't care, I do. I just don't see myself in you. Another time, another scene, I'd be right behind you, if you know what I mean. 'Cause if I were gay, I would give you my soul. And if I were gay, I would give you my whole being. And if I were gay, we would tear down the walls. But I'm not gay, so won't you stop cupping my hand? We've never hugged, we've never kissed. I've never been intimate with your fist. But you have opened brand new doors. Get over here and drop your
Hey everybody, welcome to Gay Mass. Thanks for joining me on the show. It is 1 a.m. Sunday morning on August the 24th, 2014. Thanks for listening. If you're listening live, I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me this early morning, Sunday. And if you're listening in the archives, thank you very much. I appreciate that and hope you will come back for every other show. If you want to know more about me, you can go to offlimitshow.com. You can go to Spreaker.com. Also, I'm on iTunes. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, so you can download every episode automatically to your iPhone, iPad, iPod, whatever. And that way you can stay on top of all the episodes. Of course, you can always email me if you like at info at offlimitshow.com. If you have questions or if you have something you'd like to say to me, feel free to do that and I will respond on the air. So it's Sunday, as I said, and thought I would talk about gay stuff. It's been a while since I've done a Gay Mass show, as usual. It's being longer and longer between each show because, as I said, I've been busy actually making a living, working, and all that kind of stuff as usual. Most of us have to do. So forgive me for being so so long between each show. But I'm trying. Also, be sure to listen to me on G Radio, which is also on Spreaker.com. I have been doing a show on there for a while, but I haven't done a show for so long, probably months on there. But I used to do a show there. It airs and broadcasts primarily in London, England, UK in general, whatever, and other places around the world. So be sure to listen to that show. Whether you listen to me or not, it's a good show, good music as well. DJ Kez is on there. He's awesome. So be sure to check that out. Anyway, so... that song I just played is called Gay. And it's by an artist his name is Stephen Lynch, from an album called A Little Bit Special. And it kind of illustrates the dilemma a lot of we gay guys find ourselves in a lot of times when we're, single and younger especially, and we have heterosexual friends whom either we have crushes on or they flirt with us, but they say they're straight or whatever. And sometimes being gay for some guys, for some straight guys, it just means the difference between a few beers or not. We all know that to be true. If you are gay yourself, you certainly know what I'm talking about. Because straight guys often will flirt with gay guys just because sometimes they think it's cool or funny that a gay guy is into them because they know that they're forbidden fruit or whatever, and it kind of gets them off, in their ego. And so some straight guys are like that, and others are just completely turned off by it and ew, whatever. And the funny thing is, I've always said that the guys who are completely turned off by it and just think it's disgusting and wrong or whatever, or act all macho, but don't fucking touch me, you fag, or shit like that. Those kind of guys are typically the ones who really are gay in the closet. The ones who are comfortable with their sexuality, don't have any questions about what they are, typically don't give a shit if a guy's into them or not. It doesn't bother them one way or the other. Or sometimes they'll find it flattering, and sometimes they don't. It doesn't mean anything to them, but they don't get aggressive or try to be all fucking butch and macho and shit because they're trying to prove something. Their masculinity, which has nothing to do with your sexual action. But anyway, so it takes me back to the Big Brother show that I watch on CBS. And, this season they have a contestant by the name of Frankie Grande, and his sister is Ariana Grande. He's made that very clear many times on the show. Like, it's a huge deal. I don't know why he thinks that's a big deal, but anyway, it is. She's, a singer, kind of an up and coming kind of ingenue singer. And she's, so he's gay and very openly gay and very comfortable with his sexuality. And there's two guys on there specifically whom are heterosexual, or they claim to be. One named Zach and one named Caleb. And Caleb's like a total country hick bumpkin kind of guy, very good looking, gorgeous body, and nice looking or whatever. And the other one's Cody's actually in there too. He's actually a male model, really hot, gorgeous. And then they have Zach, who is pretty nice looking as himself as well. And Zach and Frankie are always like cuddling and like doing everything but making out. Okay. And in one episode on the After Dark, because you can watch Big Brother on I think Showtime or some other channel after dark if you subscribe to it, because it continues to run the cameras 24 hours a day. And so on After Dark, you can watch everything, not just the edited show that they live broadcast. So on one episode of the After Dark, Frankie and Zank were cuddling in bed, and Frankie got up and he came out of the bedroom and he had a huge hard on sticking out of his underwear. I mean, it was sticking out, but it was like, he was pitching a tent basically in his underwear. And so I was thinking, does that make him gay, or does it just mean, whatever? And I don't think it makes him gay, but because, it's like to say, like, just because someone is rubbing up against you or whatever, in a certain way, and you get aroused, doesn't that make you gay? Because a woman could do the same thing to a guy, and he could get aroused to a gay guy, and he probably could get aroused as well. But doesn't mean he's straight, So it's the same thing, and the same thing too is with straight guys and gay guys and straight guys. A gay guy can touch a straight guy in a certain way and he gets aroused. So I don't think it makes him gay. A lot of people think it does, but I don't. But he does. He's like really, really all over Frankie, and Frankie's all over him. And Frankie's like, one point just says, anytime you're ready, just come on. I'm ready. Just let me know. Give me the sign, And so, but anyway, my point is that, a lot of times straight guys are kind of confusing for gay guys because they'll give mixed signals. And so it gives those guys hope or whatever. And I've never had a crush on a straight guy. I mean, I've never had when I say crush, I mean I've never pined after some straight guy, just like longed for and wanted one. I've never ever done that. I've always been into guys who like guys. I've never really been into guys who don't. And primarily, most heterosexual men, to be stereotypical, generally, aren't that all attractive anyway. I mean, not all of them, but they don't. I'd say at least half of them, 50% these days. Used to be a lot more. Don't really take care of themselves that much or coif or anything else. And so, I've always been into guys who do, and who take care of their eyebrows and their ear hair and their nose hair and their, they shave and they're clean shaven or whatever. And if they're not clean shaven, they have a nicely trimmed beard or whatever. So, for me, it's, when I've never been into straight guys, but it is a phenomena for a lot of for gay men who have an issue with it. And I think it's kind of self-deprecating, or it's not self-deprecating. It's kind of a bad thing because, if you have these straight guys who, are obviously unattainable, and these gay guys are going after them, then what the fuck are you doing? You obviously have some sort of, mental block or something from having a true, intimate relationship with someone, an emotional connection, because you're never going to have that with a straight guy. So I always feel really let down when gay guys are like really into straight guys, because they're just it's not going to happen, So they are, so it's kind of sad to me. But I've never had that issue, but I know a lot of guys do. So anyway, that song is sort of in honor of the gay guys who have crushes on straight guys and what could possibly happen in their dreams, generally speaking. But there was a story last week about Josie Greenwell, whom he's been an openly gay country singer, okay, for a while. And he used to date the Brazilian model Rodney Santiago, who was actually on A-List New York. He used to be the boyfriend of, what's his name? Oh God, it's totally escaped me. What's his name? Oh God, Riken, the model guy that used to date Lance Bass. Anyway, and so he was an openly gay, and he's drop dead gorgeous. He's a gorgeous man. Drop dead gorgeous. And he came out as a openly gay country music singer. And now all of a sudden, in the past week, he's got a new PR person. And the PR person is saying he is now straight. He has been rebranded from Josie Greenwell to Nate Green. They even changed his name to Nate Green and redid his image. And now he's considered to be straight and dating women and blah, blah, blah. It's so ridiculous that they're doing this. And they say, before all this happened, with Steve Grand last year or whatever, the Josie Greenwell guy said that music should be about talent and not sexuality, but I'm proud of mine nonetheless. Doesn't seem like he's so proud now, does it? If he's hiding behind a new identity of the name Nate Green in order to sell more records, that's how old I am, or CDs or albums or whatever you want to call them, to sell more music. So it's really pathetic and sad to me. First of all, that he thinks that we're never going to notice. Come on, we're not fucking stupid. First of all, gay men are definitely going to notice. First of all, he's a very strikingly beautiful man. So it's not like he can just take on a new pseudonym and be someone else. We're going to know who he is by looking at him. And people are just not that dumb. And so that's what really annoys me, is that he goes around and, acts like he's straight all of a sudden when it's obvious he's not and never has been. But anyway, here's a little bit of his music. He performed live last year, a couple of years ago, actually, as a gay man.
Woke up, see that blur in the whole spin down. Advil, need that pill, it's nothing else on me right now. Can't find my cell phone, not going to lie. One thing ain't going on with me.
Okay, so that's a little bit of it. So he's not exactly the biggest talent in the world, but he, looks good. And in that industry, all you need to have to really do is to have a little tiny bit of talent, look really good, and a good story, and then you can make it. But anyway, it's really sad. But you can check him out online if you search for his name, and he's really just a beautiful. He's like, the kind of guys I always thought was drop dead gorgeous and dated a lot of when I was younger. So blonde and blue and all that stuff. So really beautiful. His name again is Josie Greenwell, or now his name is Nate Green. But I find it to be kind of it's offensive as a gay man that he would go around and do this and blatantly